Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Can everyone hear me okay? I see some minutes for everybody to hop on and get settled. And we are actually going to be playing some drumming music and highlighting our sponsors as we wait for everyone to hop on. So please join me in centering yourself, just doing what you need to do to get into good space as we jump right into our event tonight. So okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. That drumming is actually courtesy of a current client of ours here at Northwest Casa. So we're really grateful that she contributed that for tonight and hope you guys enjoyed. And let's just jump right in. So again, thank you all for being here. We're so excited to be able to host this virtually. Wish we could do it in person, but this is the next best thing. As a reminder, this can be a really difficult topic. So I encourage all of you guys to take care of yourself as needed. If you need to hop off, or take a second and go get a drink of water, do what you need. We'll be here when you decide to come back if you do. But overall tonight, we are going to be dispelling common misbeliefs surrounding sexual violence. And we're going to light up the truth for survivors in our community and in our lives. Overall, we're going to be going through a couple different videos that were donated to us from our community members. And also we were really, really blessed to have a survivor themselves send us a video that we're going to be able to share with all of you today. So we will jump right in. Along the way, we are going to be lighting a couple candles that are going to symbolize a bunch of the different myths that we're hoping to dispel. Our staff member, Rebecca, who is a survivor herself, is going to be the one lighting the candles. So everyone give a little mental shout out to Rebecca for being here with us today. We're so proud of her and the work that she does, and being able to work with us is a huge, huge benefit to us, that's for sure. At some point during our presentation, we are going to invite all of you guys to light our candle with us. However, I encourage you to light your candle whenever you feel empowered to do so. Sexual violence impacts everybody differently. So if you think that was a good time, something that really hits home for you, please feel free to do that. At the end of our presentation, we will have a slide with all of our social media information. So if you feel so inclined, please take a photo of you lighting your candle and share it on whatever social media platform that you use and tag us. The hashtags that we are using are hashtag We Are Northwest Casa, hashtag light up the truth, which is our title here today. And my favorite, hashtag cancel rape culture. So if you guys are going to use any of those, that would be great. And we look forward to seeing all of those at the end of our presentation today. Okay, so with each candle, I'm going to be making quite a bit of a bold statement. These are things that have been highlighted on our social media in the past month, since it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So for our first candle, we're going to be lighting it in recognition of the fact that sexual violence is not just a women's issue. Sexual violence affects folks of all genders, and although male-identified victimization is underreported, we have seen quite an increase within our community alone over the past few years. By working as a community to cancel rape culture, we hope to create a society in which it is safe for people of all genders to report sexual violence, knowing it will be taken seriously. I would love for you guys all to join me in welcoming a volunteer from Northwest CASA. She's going to be sharing her reason for volunteering with us in a video right now.
Hi, my name is Vicki, and I am a medical advocacy and hotline volunteer with Northwest CASA. And I volunteer because sexual violence is happening all around us all the time, whether we are aware of it or not, and unfortunately, it usually remains largely hidden in the shadows. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men experience sexual violence during their lifetime. And when we think about these statistics, these are our friends and family and our neighbors and our coworkers and our students and sometimes ourselves. And so whether or not we're always aware of it, it is happening all around us. I volunteer because I believe that every survivor of sexual violence deserves to be believed and unconditionally supported from moment one. This is deeply personal work for me, and it is a role that I take very seriously. I consider it a privilege to provide support to survivors as they navigate the complex and painful aftermath of trauma. And having seen firsthand the sobering realities of sexual violence in the communities that we serve, I know how great the need is for these services. I am so grateful that organizations like Northwest CASA exist to provide these supports, and it is an honor to be part of the Northwest CASA team.
Thank you, Vicki, for that video. She's such an awesome volunteer. All of our survivors love having her here, and so do we. So thank you, Vicki, for sharing. Our next candle is going to be lit to recognize that spyware does not prevent sexual abuse. Many adults fall victim to buying spyware that are marketed to quote unquote keep kids safe. However, these may not protect your children in the most effective way. Instead of spending money on spyware, we implore you to invest in prevention strategies both in your home and the community. Prevention education efforts can reduce the likelihood that somebody will engage in sexual violence, as well as increase a person's ability to recognize abuse and feel empowered to report it. It is crucial to start these conversations early and often about consent and body autonomy. Open and honest communication with your kids about internet risks can help them understand the importance of internet safety and encourage them to act accordingly if they receive a message from somebody they do not know or is unsafe. Next, we are going to be hearing from Lisa Ronconi, who is a social worker at Evanston Township High School. Yes, please enjoy.
My name is Lisa, and I'm a social worker at Evanston Township High School. At ETHS, we're committed to ending rape culture and sexual violence. We have a student and staff committee that works to implement educational programming and prevention work, to educate students and train staff on how to have difficult conversations about consent and about sexual harassment and sexual assault. We implement workshops and other trainings and programs and events throughout the year to do this important work in our community. Northwest CASA has been a huge part of our work at ETHS. Northwest CASA facilitates our workshops, completes our teacher and staff and coach trainings, and does the Clothesline Project every fall with us. They have been instrumental in our work to help educate our students, our staff, and our community on what consent is, on what it means to fight and combat sexual assault, rape culture, and we are so grateful for the work that they commit to every day and for our partnership with them.
Thanks again to Lisa for that video. She is such an awesome advocate for our agency and all of her students. She's really great at inviting us into our school. So thank you, Lisa. Okay, next, we are going to be lighting our third candle on behalf of the fact that we live in a society where victims do not often see justice. We're going to be running through a handful of numbers here, so bear with me. Out of 1,000 rapes, 994 perpetrators will walk free. 310 of those will be reported to law enforcement. 57 reports will lead to an arrest. 11 will be referred to prosecutors. 7 will lead to a felony conviction, and 6 out of that original 1,000 will be incarcerated. Society creates many barriers for those interested in seeking medical care or reporting their assault. These barriers include, but are not limited to, language, fear of reporting due to undocumented status, community or cultural experiences with law enforcement, systemic racism. As I said, that is far from an exhaustive list. None of these should be barriers to survivors reporting to law enforcement or receiving medical care. We are now going to hear from Anjali Daly, who is a former board member and current employee with the Evanston Police Department.
So I would say within the last 5 to 10 years, there's definitely been a shift in policing and law enforcement when it comes to dealing with and addressing sexual assaults. PERF, which stands for Police Executive Research Forum, they put out a report some time ago that talked about trauma-informed responses. And so I think that since then, there's definitely been a shift to have more training, to have more awareness of what that means. Someone having been sexually assaulted experienced an extremely traumatic event, and maybe that affects their recollection of some things, maybe that affects them overall. And so having that understanding and that compassion, and realizing that we can still work on our case and we can still solve our case, work to solve our case rather, but we also have to be respectful and aware of what this person may be dealing with. And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Even our line of questioning, some of the questions that might have been asked back in the day, what were you wearing? Where were you going? Those questions at times could come across almost accusatory, depending on who it is or how they're asked. And so just recognizing the questions, the wording, just making sure that we are being respectful to what they've just dealt with. So there's been some good stuff, and it's going to hopefully continue to get better, and we'll get there. We will get there.
Thanks again to Anjali, who is no longer a board member with us, but still a fabulous activist for our team as well. We're super grateful to have her on our side. Okay, our fourth bold statement of the night and final bold statement. We're going to light this candle to recognize that sexual violence financially impacts everybody in our community, which includes all of you. Some more numbers for you. Rape is a costly and preventable epidemic. According to PubMed, $122,461 are spent per victim over their lifetime, which totals $3.1 trillion in an economic burden of sexual assault in the US alone. $1.2 trillion of this is spent on medical care, about 39%. 1.6 trillion are spent on lost work and productivity, which equals about 52%. 234 billion is spent on criminal justice activities, about 8%. And finally, 36 billion is spent on other costs, for example, property loss or damage, cost of moving, et cetera. That equals about 1%. According to CNN, there's an 80% chance that perpetrators will never be prosecuted. Perpetrators should not be given a free pass within our system, costing trillions of dollars and negatively impacting our society daily. Join us in our journey to hold our perpetrators, law enforcement, and lawmakers accountable for this epidemic while dismantling rape culture. Northwest CASA provides all of our services for free to our survivors, and all of your donations and all of you buying tickets today is a huge support of that. So thank you again all for doing that. Last but not least video that we have today, we are going to be hearing from a survivor. Her name is Bernardina, so I'm going to let her speak on for herself. I don't want to take anything from her. However, at this point, I invite any of you who have not already lit your candle to light it with us. We're going to light it to stand in solidarity with our survivors and show them that we are lighting the way and the path to healing and hope. So please join us in our fabulous survivor herself, Rebecca, lighting our final candle.
Yo tuve un caso de violencia doméstica que le doy gracias a Dios de que estoy viva. Yo sufrí abuso sexual, abuso verbal, de todo sufrí yo. Y gracias a Dios estoy viva y puedo contarlo ahora. Quiero hacerlo más que nada para animar a esas mujeres que están pasando por lo que yo pasé. Que sí se puede, que busquen ayuda y que no las aterre el miedo y se queden ahí. Tienen unos hijos que los necesitan, que tienen que vivir por ellos y luchar por ellos, que no se queden al lado de su agresor, porque si ellas se quedan van a terminar muertas. Yo logré salir de ahí y estoy muy agradecida con Dios y con mis hijos y a Casa Northwest, que me ayudó muchísimo, porque ahí hay unos seres maravillosos que no son de tu familia, pero que te están esperando con los brazos abiertos. Quiero agradecerle a Magda, a Indira. Hay otra muchachita que no recuerdo su nombre que me ayudó al principio, pero que donde quiera que esté, que le vaya bien. Esas personas me apoyaron más que mi familia, porque yo no pude contarle a mis hermanos, a nadie, porque si yo les contaba, ellos te decían, estás ahí porque quieres y porque te gusta estar ahí. No, señoras, no es porque te gusta estar ahí. Es un miedo que te ahoga, que te llega a la garganta, que no te deja respirar, que ese miedo te mata. Y si te quedas ahí, eso es lo que vas a hacer, te vas a morir, porque tu agresor de ahí se agarra más y te humilla, te dice de todo, no vales nada. Y sí, uno vale mucho como mujer. Yo ahora me doy cuenta que tenía unos hijos maravillosos que si yo les hubiese platicado, ellos me hubiesen apoyado a mí. Jamás me hubiesen dejado donde yo estaba. No se queden serias, señoras. Luchen por sus vidas y luchen por sus hijos. Hay ayuda, como Casa Northwest y otras identidades que pueden ayudarnos. Y en este país tan maravilloso que hay tantas cosas buenas para nosotros, yo ahora tengo un trabajo, estoy feliz, tengo a mis hijos, disfruto a mis hijos más que nada, mis nietas. Estoy muy feliz y le doy gracias a Dios de que logré salir adelante. Ánimo, señoras, y más que nada estoy compartiendo mi testimonio para que todas esas mujeres que están pasando por lo que yo pasé se den cuenta que si hay ayuda. Tarde o temprano te das cuenta y te das cuenta que no puedes estar hundida en el hoyo donde estás. Salgan adelante, luchen, corran lo más que puedan. Y en ese camino que ustedes van a recorrer, van a encontrar esas gentes maravillosas que nos están esperando con los brazos abiertos y un hombro donde llorar. Muchísimas gracias. Les doy las gracias de todo corazón y que Dios me las bendiga. Y ojalá y que mi testimonio sirva para algo. Y quiero más que nada luchar y seguir luchando por esas mujeres que pasaron por lo que yo pasé y que están pasando. Muchísimas gracias.
Hi, my name is Carrie Estrada. I'm the Executive Director here at Northwest CASA. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We have a really important call to action tonight because we need all hands on deck. Every 73 seconds in America, there's a sexual assault. Just to drill that down closer to home, last year in Cook County alone, there were 2,500 reports of sexual assault to law enforcement and barely 500 arrests. In McHenry County, where we have a satellite office, there were almost 100 sexual assaults last year with less than 20 arrests. This is totally preventable. We need a cultural shift, and Northwest CASA is seeking the community support to join our mission and vision of a world free from sexual violence. We need help, and there are so many avenues where you can jump in. If you want to meet a survivor at their most vulnerable, typically when they present themselves at the hospital, join our volunteer medical advocate program. We will provide you all of the training and support you need to do that job well. We have space for you. You will pick the time, the days that you would like to fulfill that position, and we will offer you that support. If you're a therapist in our community and want to give back, please join our volunteer counseling program here. We have volunteer counselors that give so much of their time and talent because they know the importance of therapy and what a difference that makes. Our services, again, are free of charge and offered in English and in Spanish. We could use your help. We have space for you. If you're a super fun party planner and want to join our events committee, we've got space for you. If you're a visionary and want to roll up your sleeves and join our mission at Northwest CASA and help us grow bigger and better, join our board of directors. We've got space for you. If you've got a social media platform and want to help us put out our messages to fundraise, we will turn all of those dollars into really important services and, better yet, prevention education, so this doesn't have to happen to somebody else. We've got space for you. We've got space for you if you're part of a book club or want to start a book club and really understand the intersectionality between racism, oppression, misogyny, and the patriarchy. Help us dismantle rape culture. We've got space for you. If all that is way too much for where you are in your journey in life, that's okay. We've got more space. Because the most impactful thing that you can do is simply believe survivors. You're welcome to leave your candle lit for as long as you see fit. This concludes our presentation for this evening. Please reach out. We are happy to help support, and we are welcoming all great ideas. Thank you.